some neutral bases to show-stopping art pieces, this interior is the perfect balance between subtlety and boldness. We delve into how this home has been pulled together right after this. Elisha Annandale of Décor Identity has invited us into the stunning home today, which she defines as modern yet classic. Thank you very much for having us here.
Thank you, Pilani.
Now, myth has it, I'm sure it's not a myth and it's real, that this house was built within 6 months from the ground up. Now, how involved were you in that building process?
Well, from day one, we obviously involved, with the architectural and doing the interior design, with the layouts, and obviously assisting the client with the whole building process. And yes, the client are both building engineers, so they actually had the whole team. And because time is money, they obviously pushed this home to be done pretty soon, and I think they did an immaculate job of it.
Wow, so you're telling me from the floor treatments to the wall treatments, you've been a part of this process?
Yes, we have. Obviously, from the day that the plans were issued from the architect, we were breaking ground with the client. We did the layout as well as the full finishing, hard finishes, as well as the bathrooms, the kitchen designing. So yes, from start to finish, it was an overall building project with the client.
Lovely. Describe for me what the vision was for this house. What was it in entirety?
Okay, so the client's brief from the beginning obviously was that this is an entertainment home. Because of all the big spaces that we've got, we wanted to keep it open, keep it simple, and then obviously have the flow of guests when obviously they entertain.
Now, was the style considered in the vision, or was it kind of like an afterthought?
I think from day one, obviously building this home, we wanted to keep in consideration obviously all the finishes that we're going to choose, that at the end of the day, it actually ties in with all the furniture styles, the design, and all the elements that we wanted to bring in the decor as well.
How would you describe that style?
So the style is modern classic, yet timeless. A lot of simple modern furniture we brought in, and also big pieces. We kind of wanted to keep it simple, yet clean, and have a lot of flow running through the house.
I look forward to walking through it in just a bit.
Thank you.
If you've just joined us, I have Elisha Annandale, who's been taking us through this timeless, modern, classic home that she's just done. Now, Elisha, you've walked us through the style, the vision, what the client wanted. Now, let's talk specifically about those characteristics of this home that make it modern, classic, and timeless.
Okay, so the modern classic interior basically reflects on the modern furniture that we brought in. So we wanted to keep it timeless. We wanted to do it simple, modern, and classic at the end of the day. So there's a lot of pieces that's been taken from classic design elements, from lighting to accessorizing, and some of the furniture pieces as well. So we've incorporated that into each space that you see here.
How do you define that furniture? I mean, those are the big things. The big armchairs are generally what, like square-shaped, and the forms are modern and timeless, or what it is exactly that we should be looking out for?
So basically what we wanted to incorporate in the style here is a lot of the circular elements that you see in flowing throughout the whole house, starting from the staircase design as well as the lighting, the round sort of balls in the entrance. You've got the patio, which has got the circular sofa. So yeah, we wanted to break a lot of the square, straight lines of this modern home, bringing in the classic of the form of the shape, being the circular and the round elements that we brought in.
And the wall treatments and the floor treatments, which are obviously your big surface areas. I see, some wood panels, but I also see like cement finishes on the walls. Take us through the choices with that, and which of those elements make this home what it is, or what you've envisioned.
Well, at the end of the day, you want to incorporate different elements, different textures into any space. That's what makes it interesting. So the design that you'll see on the staircase, which has got the cement finish, that obviously creates a bit of an ambience. It's got the sheen to it. It's really a focal point in the entrance. And then bring in a lot of the wood elements to warm it up, and then the floors that are quite shiny. So we need to balance all of that with the walls and not make a focal point of each wall, but then just define certain areas.
Talking to those textures, how have you actually chosen your color scheme, and what informed the palette as well as your fabrics?
The color scheme is pretty much very neutral in all the spaces. So all the big furniture pieces we kept to a neutral palette. The grays, the off-whites, all the natural elements you can see that we brought into the bigger pieces of the furniture into each space. Then obviously the scatters, the textures were brought in by the accessories and the artwork, as well as some of the fabrics that you can see on the scatter cushions as well.
Now the space is quite big and spacious. How did you make sure that there's harmony between the rooms?
Well, this home being an entertainment home at the end of the day is that we have to have all the rooms flowing into each other. Because it's all open plan, we wanted to keep the dining as well as the patio and the lounge all sort of natural tones, and then highlighting on certain elements like the scatter cushions, the artwork, and then keep that all flowing from one space to another.
Excellent. I mean, the views between the rooms are quite clear and fluid, and I think the consistency is very well done.
I would love to show you around. Let's take a view.
Let's go. You know, having walked through the space, I really do get the sense of it being an entertainer's home. Now, the fluidity is just kind of well integrated and locks in quite nicely. I believe there are guest bedrooms on this floor as well. How have you, or what have you done to actually integrate the space together?
Well, the guest bedrooms are actually kept to the same modern design that we brought through the whole house. So you'll see a lot of straight lines with a bit of the touches of the classic elements through the scatters, the textures that we brought in. And yeah, we try to keep each space interlinking to the other.
Earlier we talked about the color schemes. Now, are those consistent across the rooms as well, or what have you actually done in the rooms to kind of maybe change them up?
I think the main areas as you walk into the home, which is all the open plan spaces, we've tried to keep most of it neutral, but then bring in the orange to kind of flow from the lounge into the patio and the golds that you see. So those particular three areas, I'd say, yes, they do interlink with the color palette that we've used. But then coming into the kitchen and into the TV lounge, we wanted to bring in the burgundy, which is a specific color that the client actually wanted to incorporate into the kitchen, which is a little bit more warmer, a little bit more cozier. And then going into the bedrooms downstairs, you'll see that we've incorporated the blues into the one guest room, and then again the gold in the other room.
Oh, much calmer colors.
Yes.
What are the actual furniture pieces that you've used in the bedroom that make it modern, classic, timeless?
So the furniture pieces that you'll see in the bedrooms are obviously all these high paneled headboards to kind of elevate the ceiling and to make it feel more wow and
grand.
Yes, to be more impressive on the look and the feel of the interiors. So yes, we wanted to obviously highlight on those particular rooms because they'll be used by more sort of special guests coming to visit. So yes, the one room we've done the blues and we've incorporated the dark woods and a lot of straight line modern furniture. The gold room we've wanted to bring in again the softer palette with the yellow and the gold. So the wood tones you'll see is a lot lighter, and then bringing a bit of the touches of the gold into that space.
Lovely. Well, as you know, we have a viewer who sent us an image of their space and would love some of your help. Now, they've given us a bit of a blank canvas. Her name is Pindile, so I'm going to read what she said in her email. I need some help to decorate my small apartment. My main challenge in decorating my living room is the wooden staircase leading into the loft. I'm not sure what colors to bring into my living space. I'm more like dark colors, black, dark gray, and brown, of which I don't think will work in my living room considering the color of the stairs and the ceiling beams. So here it is here. We have one picture and one hit to go.
So what I would suggest to Pindile is, yes, the oak sort of natural wood element is quite in fashion at the moment, and it definitely goes with the neutral scheme of black and white and bringing in the accents of the wood. So yes, I would suggest that she brings in maybe the sofa and the charcoal, the darker element, and then highlighting with a lot of decorative sort of lighter accessories, so that because it's a small space, you don't want to overclutter it with too many different colors.
Yes.
So keep the palette to a black and white with the touches of the wood, and then bring in a lot of greenery with that. So if she doesn't want to bring a lot of color into the space, then obviously I would suggest those three as your main focus points, which is the black, the grays, and the monotones. And then yes, she can interchange it into each different season and bring in a bit of a color into the scatters or the accessories. But overall, I would try and maybe try and paint the staircase to become a focal point.
Yeah.
If it's not the case, then obviously bring that into the furniture, and then just to rid of all the white walls, bring in a bit of a grayness to that, to bring a bit of warmth and to tie in with the flooring.
A lighter grey, or maybe she could go bold and go dark as well.
She can. There's space to go for a focal wall. Yes, so definitely she can bring in a color or go for a charcoal on the one space, but overall keep it light and airy because of the size of the room.
Yeah, lovely. I think that's very comprehensive, and she has nothing to worry about. I think there's a lot of light coming in there.
Definitely.
Yeah? Thank you very much, Elisha, and thanks to you, Pindile, for sending in your images. To all our other viewers, you too can do the same by mailing us to info@thehomechannel.co.za with any questions that you have around your living space. What we haven't touched on is the artwork in the house. It's quite consistent in every room, it's all abstract, and it seems you've pulled some of your color schemes from it. What informed your decision in selecting the art in the house?
Okay, so obviously each space we try to individualize based on the color scheme from the scatters and the accessories. We wanted to incorporate that color into the abstract art.
With that individuality, there's something else that I see happening in the home. You've carefully selected the lighting fixtures as well. These lighting fixtures generally have the same theme. I don't know which part of them are modern or classic or timeless. You can take us through them. We'd love to know more about them.
So the lighting, which is quite sculptural in this house, has obviously been tried to flow from the one space to the other.
Yeah.
And the material that's been used is the glass into the tubing texture design that you see in the kitchen, and then also the sort of frosted glass element in the dining and the living space. They all have a very gold sort of undertone to them to tie in with all the gold elements that we see into this house.
They're really lovely. They're like artworks in themselves.
Yes, indeed they are.
Well, Elisha, this brings us to the end of the show. Thank you very much for having us here. It's a wonderful space.
Thank you so much, Palani.
And thanks to you for tuning in to Design For You once again. We hope that you've been inspired by this lovely home. You can visit the website thehomechannel.co.za to get more information on our guest. But also, if you want advice on your living space, you can mail us on info@thehomechannel.co.za. From me, Pilani Bubu, this is Design For You, and we're here to keep you inspired.